Using the tag column is one of the most useful and flexible features in the system. The time spent experimenting with this feature will pay off with great time saving and more flexible bidding. The tag column is on every list in the system and usually located to the left next to the memo column. As you can see my mouse here, its column heading is a sideways chevron or V. To tag a column, click your left mouse button when you're over the line or row that you want to tag. You can also hit the down arrow, hit the space bar, it will tag and move down. So if you continue to the space bar, it'll take a number of items at one time. You can also click the tag menu at the top and start at a cursor location, begin tagging. And if you want to stop the tags, move your cursor down to the row and end tags. The easiest way to untag items is on the top toolbar here where my mouse is at, and I'm going to click on it. You could have also went to the tag menu and untag all bid items. Another thing to note is that regardless of how long the list is, if you click on the tag menu and say tag all, it's going to take everything on the screen that you can see plus anything that's off the viewing screen. Whenever you tag lines, we also give you the total for those lines. So if I click on this line here and this one, you'll notice at the bottom it says 2 tagged bid items, and it gives me a total cost and a markup and a sale price down here. So if you want to know a price of a group of items, just tag the items and you'll have the information right there. When you click on the tag menu, you'll see several options. Most of them are pretty straightforward, and if you practice a little bit, you'll come up with unique ways to use each one of them. The one that we'll spend a little bit of time on is the change column value. As with learning any feature, it's a good idea to make backups or at least save the bid periodically before you're practicing different functions. On the change column value, the first thing to remember is that it is specific to the column the cursor is located on. So if I'm over here on unit cost and go to tag menu and change column value, I better tag a few things before it'll work. Go back to unit cost and change column value. You want to check and make sure the column that is the one that you want to work on, change unit cost of, and that's the unit cost column. If we go back and move over to the quantity column and go back to the tag, it will tell you that it's the quantity column here. So this is really important when you use this feature. Be sure to take a note of the column to make sure it is the one you want to take the action on. Once you have selected rows to take an action on and you're in the column that you want to take the action on, when you go to the tag menu and change value, you'll have several options. To the right there's a little down arrow. Right now it's changing entire field, but you can add a fixed amount, whether it's $1 or a quantity column amount, subtract and multiply, divide, etc. There are a few more down here at the bottom as we scroll down. Generally speaking, you're going to be multiplying fields or adding a specific quantity or dollar amount to the field. For instance, if you wanted to add a certain percent to all these, you wanted to increase it by 10%, when you multiply, you would type in here 1.1, which would, when you click the change, it's going to change the rows on the top, tagged lines, by adding 10% to each one of them. We'll go ahead and do that now. You can just kind of see. It tells you that there were 3 changes made because we have 3 rows tagged. Now we're going to undo that by going to the edit menu and put those values back because we really don't want them. It is a little impractical to take the time to go through all the many things you can do with the tag menu, especially when you incorporate it with the use of the find and the cross-reference feature that we have. To go over the find use with the tag menu, we're going to bring up the Pricebook item list. This is your database. And in this case, let's say that you wanted to change lineal foot description to LINFEETE or something like that. You would go to the find or the binoculars or find and find LF, and it is not case sensitive, so it doesn't really matter. Let me click something in here, LF. And in this case, we'll say that it begins with, if I can find it here, it really doesn't matter. And we're going to show only the found lines. Now, you'll notice at the top it says Pricebook item list, bid units beginning with LF. So now we're looking at all the LF values. We would tag all the lines by going to the tag menu and tag all Pricebook items. That's in this view. It's not all the items, it's only the ones in the find view. Now if we click over here and go to the tag menu and change tag total, we make sure that it is the bid unit and we type in what you want to change it to. You can also append or put something in the front of a description, for instance. I'm going to cancel out of this and I'm going to untag because I really don't want to perform this operation now. Also, another little caveat is that you're in a find now and it's your Pricebook list, but it's only showing the items we found. This is why there is an all up here on the menu or the toolbar at the top. Click the all and that will redisplay everything in that list. A list always indicates what is being viewed. If you do a find, you'll see it described up here in every case. To show the other use with the cross-reference, we're going to use the division list. And I'll bring up the division list here. And let's say you're on a division and you want to do something with all of those items that are in this division only, or you want to print them out by themselves. You would click the cross-reference or XREF as it says up here, and in this case we want to cross-reference to the bid items. You can do it to all the items in the Pricebook. This is another use, but right now we want it to show us here again in the bid item list. Now we're looking at division 3. We would tag that. We're not going to go through that at this particular point, but you can see that the things that you can do are really considerably increased when you incorporate either the cross-reference or the find. The last thing we want to cover regarding the tag menu. Sometimes you might want to print certain items in a bid and not the other items. So you would tag those either using individually tagging lines or going to the begin and ending tags. And once you have them tagged, there are two places to report. One is from the reports menu. The other one is from the quick print on the toolbar. The quick print on the toolbar is the one you have to use. This is the only one that lets you print tagged lines. And I'm going to go ahead and select those there and run the little report so you can see what's going on. Now we're only printing those 3 lines that are tagged in here. We'll get out of this and out of that. Now if you go to the reports and bid reports, you do not have that option. So if you're going to print just tag lines, you must do it from the toolbar and the quick print button here.